Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to part 2 of the Let's Play / review of Castlevania Harmony of Despair. This stage I'm going to actually not be playing a Shinoa, even though I said in the first part that all I was going to be doing is playing a Shinoa. I had forgotten, since I'm doing all of this post-commentary, that I actually did another video to try to show off another character to not be completely biased toward Shinoa, even though I'm totally biased towards Shinoa. Anyway, so this part I play as Alucard, and Alucard is, he's a technical player, is the best way to do it. He's got a good balance of offense and defense, but he doesn't really excel at one or the other. His spells are also just as varied. He has some defensive spells and some offensive spells, so he's kind of the middle of the road character. He's good to start off with. His one huge advantage is his ability to use a shield. He's the only character in the game who can use any of the shield equipment, which does mean that he can be partnered very well for certain characters like Charlotte. Put him in front of Charlotte using a shield, and he can block most projectile attacks and keep her from taking any extraneous damage. That is really his only big strength. His weaknesses, however, are considerably more glaring. And the thing is, where to begin? I think I'll begin with the spells. His spells are kind of pathetic. He gets the same spell library that he gets from Symphony of the Night. Not the full spell library, but a good number of them.
You too shall be my
He gets his starting spell is Summon Spirit, which summons one spirit that flies around at random, just like that. It can be upgraded to Tetra Spirit, and it'll summon several more. In order to upgrade his spells, you have to get scroll drops off of either specific enemies or out of treasure chests. I think they're more common out of treasure chests, but I think it is possible to get some of them dropped from enemies. Not 100% sure. I haven't gotten too far with using Alucard, as you can see. Mainly because he's the character that you get to play the demo as, and I spend a lot of time playing as him in the demo, and therefore wanted to try out other characters when I get the full version. Other than Soul Steel, or Summon Spirit, he has Soul Steel, he has his Fireball and Dark Inferno, which is the Molten Rock upgrade. He has Dark Metamorphosis as well. And those are the ones that I know of. And they function pretty much the same way as his Symphony of the Night counterparts. Soul Steel does damage and restores the damage. Dark Metamorphosis, I don't know if that actually does blood healing, because I can't really think of too many monsters in this that actually bleed. So it may just act as a damage-based Soul Steel through physical damage instead of just a set amount of magic damage. Not entirely sure. Anyone who wants to comment on that one who's played Alucard more than the first 2 levels would be more than welcome. So his spells are really a little lackluster. But I mean, there's only so much you can do with it, since he is coming straight from Symphony of the Night. He had a few spells in Symphony of the Night, but he had access to all of them right off the bat, and they were, I mean, for the most part, just as powerful as they would have been. His other big things are his transformations, which 2 of them do make an appearance. He transforms into the wolf when doing his down attack for his slide. Since Alucard doesn't have a slide animation, he turns into the wolf. Like with any other slide attack, you do have to worry about collision damage. So, you know, try not to run into the bad guy, that sort of thing. Which does make positioning a little difficult. He does not have the bat transformation, but he does have the mist transformation, which you turn into mist form for just a brief moment and then instantly revert back. You don't stay in mist form like you could in Symphony of the Night. Advantages to mist form is you are completely invulnerable while in mist form. And that's from any attack, including this stage's boss, the Puppet Master, that can teleport you into one of the Iron Maidens for massive amounts of damage if you time the mist form right, and you were the one targeted to be put into the Iron Maiden. You can avoid the attack entirely, which is amazing, but it is one of those precise timing motions. But it's a good defensive ability. It's a good defensive ability that only really helps you. It kind of screws over other people. Oh well. So, those abilities are kind of intact from what they were in Symphony of the Night. His equipment. As previously stated, he's the only one who can use shields. So, like the shield that I just knocked from the Axe Knight, you can actually get that shield as an item drop. I believe I have it, I just never use it. That is Alucard's only unique piece of equipment. Everything else can be shared between other characters, which is kind of a letdown. I say that because all of his attack animations come from Symphony of the Night. So if you use a two-handed sword, two-handed swords are pretty much the same as the two-handed swords in Symphony of the Night. And they give a little bit longer reach, but they are very slow attacks. The one-handed swords, as you can see through all of my attacks, I'm using a one-handed sword. It's got the short-range attack, but they attack faster. So, you do have a little bit of customization. He does have other types of weapons that were available in Symphony of the Night. I know the Fist of Tulkas is available. The downside with his equipment, as I said, that it's mostly shared. A good amount of the equipment that Alucard can use is used by other people, like Soma. And really Soma. Soma's a bit overpowered, but I'll get into that when I get into his description. I bring that up because one of Alucard's strongest weapons in this game is one of his strongest weapons from Symphony of the Night, the Chrysogrim. It has been renamed the Vammingway in this. I believe it's the Vammingway, something along those lines in this game. Same attack pattern, speed. So you can basically mow through enemies very quickly. The Stage 3 boss has certain weak points, and if you hit in other parts than the weak point, you only do 1 point of damage, but I've seen Alucard just tear through that boss just by holding the attack button down and attacking repeatedly. That weapon is not exclusive to Alucard. That weapon can be used by Soma as well, which kind of detracts from Alucard's usefulness, considering I don't remember Soma getting that sword in any of the Sorrow games. The only advantage that Alucard has with certain weapons is he can do a downward diagonal attack. But that advantage is kind of taken down when you think of how Soma attacks. Soma gets the same attack animations he did in the Sorrow games. So if he's using an axe, it arcs. So as long as what you're trying to attack is on an even playing field as you can hit it in a much broader spectrum than Alucard can. And since most of the weapons are interchangeable except for some of the two-handed swords that Soma gets that Alucard can't, it's... Well, not just two-handed swords, but axes, like the great axe, is not a weapon that Alucard can equip. Not only can Alucard not equip it, but it also has special attack. Most of the weapon special attacks come back from this game, come back from Symphony of the Night. So if you get the Yatsutsuna, you can do its special attack, either by doing the Street Fighter down-forward attack or back-forward attack motions, like you could in Symphony of the Night with Saruman's. So, with that, Alucard doesn't really get anything special with his weapons. He's pretty much the same as he was in Symphony of the Night, but sans anything unique. His only unique feature is his shield, which I haven't seen personally, but I've heard that a certain shield can defeat death in stage 5 in a matter of seconds. So I'm not entirely sure if the shield rod makes a second appearance in this game or not, and if so, then that does give Alucard a much greater range of versatility if you find that weapon, or if it's just the shield itself, if they act as though there's a permanent shield rod effect, which would also make Alucard slightly more versatile compared to his other character counterparts. All in all, Alucard is a fairly middle-of-the-road character. It's entirely possible to beat the whole game with just Alucard. He has enough built-in support abilities to where you don't need other characters in normal or hard mode, but you're not going to be blazing through the level as fast as you would be with some other characters. So, it is a little bit of a disappointment that he's not in all of his Symphony of the Night glory. I would have liked a little more customization with him, considering you have a lot of customization aspects in Symphony of the Night. So, yeah. It's a little down. He is also, like I said, the character that you played the demo of. So if you download the demo off of Xbox Live, he's the only character that you have access to. And you only have access to the first level, which means you're not going to get a lot of the high-end equipment, but it'll get you familiar with the game. So with that, you can get used to using his double jump, his mist form, and the shield, which are really his key strategy points. Everything else is going to be able to carry over as far as knowledge from one character to the other. So, for being the character that really brought Castlevania into a different light with Symphony of the Night, he's the middle of the road character for this game. A good jack of all trades, master of none sort of thing. Really good for beginners, but advanced players will be a little frustrated with his lack of versatility. So, with that, I'll go ahead and end this part of the review, and I will see you all in our next installment.